Alrighty. Welcome everyone to once again another live stream here on the Racing League Esports. Well, on the shit, I messed up my line. Usually it's on the VB Thomas platform, but yeah, today it's also on the VB Thomas platform, but we are racing here in the Racing League Esports. Well, I'm not racing, I'm going to be your commentator of today, but it is indeed going to be on the VB Thomas platform. The VB Thomas Twitch channel, the VB Thomas YouTube, and all that kind of stuff. So whoever is dropping in the Twitch, welcome. Whoever is watching the video later on YouTube, welcome to you too. Let's go straight into it. Last week we had a race in Austria. It was quite a chaotic one. Into turn one, no, into turn three, we had a very dangerous thing happen. So yeah, unfortunately, someone got taken out into turn three, but we did have three winners. Well, not three winners, one winner, but three people on the podium. Two people are from Germany. I got the information that Boz is also from Poland, so we've got a mixed nationality on the podium. And then Manixito is from Spain. Track information wise, we are looking at a race on Qatar, Losail International Circuit. Qatar has a population of 2.7 million people, and the first Grand Prix was in 2021. Hamilton has won that Grand Prix. We didn't have one in 2022. We are going to have one in 2023. And then the fastest qualifying lap was a 120.8, and the fastest race lap was a 123.1. Unfortunately, I've never done a race yet on this circuit, so I'm not gonna have any track layover. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't have previous data, so I'm not able to make any video about it. We're gonna have a short qualifying and 50% race. The track distance is about 5.4 kilometers, which is quite normal. It's quite average. It's a bit like Monza or a bit like whatever track is there. Let me think. 5.4. A bit like Saudi Arabia or Abu Dhabi, something like that. Saudi Arabia is 5.7, I think. And then the race distance will be 157 kilometers. Strategy-wise, yeah, as I said, I haven't done any races yet, so I don't know what the safety car probability, tire degradation rate, or the tire overheating probability is. But I do know that usually guys tend to go for a medium hard or a hard medium. You can also go for a medium soft, and then just I put something random in there, medium hard. Hopefully someone will choose that. My predictions of today, I'm not going to get into it too much. I'm just going to go with, yeah, I don't know any one of these. Huncho Jack in P1, Boss in P2, and Extreme Force in P3. Amount of safety cars, I'm going with 2. Thank you very much for following, Emerson. Safety cars, I'm going to go with 2 or 1. I don't know actually on this track if there's a lot of safety cars usually. And biggest loser, I'm going with Raikkonen, and biggest winner is going to be Sabi Hatpech. Yeah, that's going to be my prediction for today. And I'm going to go straight into the race. You guys won't be able to see that yet. You will be right now. Make sure to check out our sponsors. I didn't get the chance to put our real sponsors in yet, so my apologies for that, RLE. But yeah, Next Neon Racing is one of the sponsors, and then we also have the Next Neon Academy, and then we've got Pitwall.live, if I'm not mistaken, who is also a sponsor, so make sure to check them out. They're pretty amazing as they're sponsoring this league and sponsoring your stream. Let's have a quick look with a couple of guys on track here. Not 100% sure where the guys can make overtakes here. I've never seen a race on here yet. I've never driven on here, so I have no idea what I'm talking about usually. Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting race, to be honest, because usually, you know, as a commentator, you've once raced on Spain, you've once raced on Brazil and all those kind of tracks. But Qatar, we only had it in the 2021 game. Was it even in the game, though? I can't quite remember, but we do know that you didn't really have the opportunity yet to race on this track a lot of times already. But what I do know is it's a pretty great track. A lot of guys hate the track, actually, because there's not much room to make overtakes or anything else. So it's really going to be train work today, I'm afraid, as we're now driving on board with Control Griever as he's coming around the last couple of corners. There's going to be a lot of track limits there today, especially into that penultimate corner there as you're coming through Sector 3. It's gonna be so close now. Control Griever coming across the line to put... Where's the finish line? Oh, there's definitely gonna be a good DRS overtaking opportunity down the main straight. Because you will only have one DRS opportunity, and that's coming out of the last corner down the start-finish straight, and then you will have the opportunity to use DRS. But because the finish line is so far from the last corner, you're gonna have an opportunity for guys to come out of the last corner and to make that move down the main straight last lap. Now let's have a quick look with Extreme Force, the Ferrari driver right now, coming around the last corner, and this is what I'm talking about. You know, you've got about more than 10 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, before you come across the line, and you really do have the opportunity to use DRS, slipstream, and all that kind of stuff. Extreme Force now comes across the line with a 121.0, as he is improving by about 1/10 on Trabi's qualifying lap. Now let's go on board with Raikkonen. I know this guy is pretty fast. We saw him race last week, if I'm not mistaken. And he did get a pretty amazing result, if I'm not mistaken. I have no idea, actually. But Haas driver, I mean, he's pretty quick. He's also driving in the RLE German league, which has about 1,300 members in their Discord. This league only has 150, 160, but we are still growing. As you can see right now, only 11 people in the lobby. The tier 2 and the tier 3 have a little bit more members or like participants in their division, because mainly in Div 1 there is only going to be one assist allowed for this race, and that's going to be Racing Line. So a couple of guys who weren't going to be racing today are going to be racing due to that Racing Line added on, because usually, well, last race no assist was enabled, and now it's the Racing Line. So yeah, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Extreme Force, he's probably running no assist except for Racing Line. I know there was someone, but I can't quite remember who it was. Oh, this is a good overtaking opportunity for guys to battle in the pit lane. That is so funny. And the only guy who hasn't set a lap yet is going to be Sabi Hatpech. Of course, we saw Raikkonen come into the pit, so he hasn't set a lap yet either, but Sabi Hatpech coming around the last corner down the main straight with the use of DRS. He's coming across the line to put a 121.2, as that is going to be 14 thousandths away from Rumblebee and about 1/10 away from Trabi. Welcome Manexito, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. Unfortunately, you're not racing today. Or are you racing, Manexito? No, you aren't, because your ad is Manexito and not anything here on the grid. Unsho Jack, I know this guy is pretty fast too. I'm gonna get these standings real quick, although no, actually I'm not able to, because the website doesn't work on my phone for some reason. But these guys use a website to showcase their standings and all that kind of stuff. They also have an online driver rating. I'm not racing. That's unfortunate, Manexito. Any reason for that? You're not home, or like, if it's something personal, you don't have to tell me, of course. By the way, guys, sometimes I'm gonna have a little bit of a break. I do that because I've got a sore throat and I'm on medication right now, so I'm gonna try to take breaks every now and then, because otherwise I won't be able to stream next week. And I had that problem on my Tuesday league. I was not able to stream due to me having a sore throat and no voice. So yeah, I really have to take some pauses every now and then. Ah, Manexito, that's nice. Oh yeah, you were that guy who's going to Portugal, or like really close to Portugal, if I'm not mistaken, right? That's great. Dominic. Oh, Dominic was one of the guys who were using Racing Line. Now I remember, as he's currently in Sector 2. Sector 2 is actually not a very long sector. And it's also, if I'm being honest, it's not a very long track if you think about it, but 120 for a lap, and then the track distance is about 5.7 kilometers, so if you do the maths yourself, these guys are almost going full throttle through every corner. He's probably not going full throttle to that corner though, as it is almost a 90 degrees corner, so. Haha, that's nice, bro. Hope you're having an amazing evening right now. Probably on the wine. What do Spanish people actually drink? Do they drink beer or wine? Probably wine, right? Yeah, they do. Or if you're underaged, a good Coke. I mean, Coke, Coca-Cola, of course, not the other Coke. Both. Alright, that's fair enough. Control Griefer is also on a fast lap. Let's take the lap data with us. He's improving by 1/10. That will possibly put him in a provisional P7. But of course, Huncho Jack is also on an out lap. How many more minutes is there still in this qualifying? 7 more minutes. So the guys really have enough time to still put a qualifying lap. And we just saw Control Griefer invalidated his lap right there. So unfortunately, he's not going to be able to come across the line and improve a little bit there. He was improving after sector 1 as he was 1/10 up, but unfortunately, or 1/10 out, I don't know. I can expect nice racing. Yesterday I had a league, well, not yesterday, but I'm in the league where they also raced this track, and they said this track was an absolutely disgrace of a track and they never want to race here again. So I'm not too sure what happened there, but welcome, Timur. Timmy. Timmy Turner. No, I'm not laughing with your name though. Don't worry. I'm a nice guy. Don't get me wrong. Thank you for the follow, by the way, buddy. Really appreciate it. Hope you're having a fine evening here on this Friday evening. Actually, a lot of guys are racing on a Friday evening these days, and including the RLE International. So yeah, I really wonder whether these guys are going to be lots of penalties cause of track limits too. Yeah, I've seen a couple of guys invalidate their laps already here in the qualifying, so we're definitely going to be seeing that during the race when the guys are going to be pushing the corners and just go a little bit wide due to understeer. As you can see right now, Boss has the same issue as he puts himself in P2 already here in the qualifying. Extreme Force still in P1 with half a tenth in front of P2 and P3, as both Williams drivers are pretty close to each other, only 200s away from each other, only actually 17 thousandths. As Huncho Jack seems to be on a fast lap, although he invalidated this lap, unfortunately. 21 seconds. Tim, what the fuck? That is crazy. 21 seconds, how are you that bad? You... 21 separated by 3. That's 21 track invalidations. Oh my days. Yeah, lots of understeer, especially. And I don't know what the strategies are on here, because I thought a medium soft was the best one, which is usually the best one on a lot of tracks, but I kind of have the feeling that hard tires are working here too. I don't know which strategy is the best, to be honest. Baked Potato, he was improving by 1.5 tenths coming across the first sector line, and now invalidated his lap, so the Ferrari driver won't be able to improve, and we've got a new P1. Only 4 thousandths away from Extreme Force. That is so close, and I do think it's going to be close racing here in Qatar. Such a close time from Sabihat Pech. Larry now on a fast lap. It seems like lagging a little bit all over the place as he came around the first corner. Didn't really invalidate yet. Doesn't take too much curb on the outside. Now he does, as it was only a couple of millimeters away. He validates his lap right now, and it does seem like that's a very common corner where you can just invalidate your lap. Going a little bit too wide is not always ideal. I'm gonna warm up my voice right now, so I'm gonna be quiet for like 5 minutes or something. No, actually like a minute or something, so I will be right back with you. Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back. We were watching a qualifying lap for Mr. Baked Potato, but unfortunately he invalidated that lap. And he also had a little bit of a snap there coming out of a corner in Sector 2, if I'm not mistaken. But right now on board with Huncho Jack as he goes off track, invalidates his lap there, as that is not going to be an improvement for the Red Bull driver, I'm afraid, as he's possibly coming back into the pits. Yes, he is indeed. And everyone seems in the pits except for the Aston Martin driver right now, Dominic, as he finds himself all the way at the back of the grid. And I'm gonna have a quick listen to the stream because I want to see whether the quality is better. Because I tried something, I sent some videos to a couple of guys regarding the quality of my microphone, whether they liked the previous one or whether they liked this one. And they said the other one was more clear because this one has too much S in there when I talk. So I tried something to make the S disappear. So hopefully it has been solved, but I'm gonna have a quick look on the stream myself if I'm managing to do so. I'm gonna have a quick look here. Channel, going into the channel right now as I'm right. So if I should be speaking right now, the quality should be a little bit. Yeah, the quality is pretty alright. If you guys got any recommendations, make sure to let me know. But for now, the quality seems to be pretty alright. We've got Dominic all the way in P11. He seemed to be on a fast lap though, but he got impeded by the AlphaTauri driver, unfortunately, as the AlphaTauri driver all the way, well, almost, for me it's more than enough quality. Perfect. So it's good, or more than enough is like meh? What would you rate it out of 10? Because you can always have a quick look up in my previous Twitch videos if you think that quality is better, or if you think this quality is better, make sure to let me know. But who is going to be the first one to start this lap? It's an Alfa Romeo Rambo B, currently in P5 with a time of 1:21.2 as he comes across the line going into turn 1. It's a kind of a U-turn, hair clip it's called, and then we've got turn 2. And this is going to be turn 3, so hopefully he's going to be able to improve a lot of guys behind him, so he can definitely not make any mistakes, because otherwise he's not going to be able to put another quality lap here on the board. And neither are all the other guys. They have to watch out for everyone who is behind. If they crash out, if they impede anything, all that kind of stuff. We see that Rumble B is up by about 1.5 tenths as he's now entering Sector 2, almost invalidates there. And the only guy who's not going to be able to improve is Huncho Jack. Now coming down, this fast left-hander doesn't improve, takes a lot of grip on the outside. Maybe we'll want to drive on board with Mr. Alfa Romeo. Now down this two right-handers, quite an interesting part of the track. He almost invalidates there. That was really close work from the Alfa Romeo driver. Now coming around the last couple of corners, is he going to be able to improve? He lifted a little bit there coming through that corner as he's now coming down the main straight. Is he going to be able to improve? 116, 117, 118, 119. Is it going to be a 120? It is a 121.0. He improved as he put himself in P2, only 1 thousandths away from Sabi Hatpech. And are we going to see someone else coming across the line to improve? It is going to be Sabi Hatpech himself who puts himself in P1. Baked Potato is the only one who's going to be able to improve, and he doesn't, unfortunately. So that's going to be a P10 for the Ferrari driver, as there is still a lot of improving or pace finding to do here for some of these guys at the back of the grid. Let's go through the qualifying session. Sabi Hatpech puts himself in P1, Rumble B in P2, and Extreme Force in P3. Boss in P4, Trabi in P5. Further, we've got Larry, Huncho Jack, Raikkonen, Control Griefer, Baked Potato, and Dominic. So these 11 drivers are going to be battling with each other for a top position here in Qatar. and hopefully they're going to be able to. I'm going to have a quick listen to the stream if the quality is better, and then I'll let you know. My man Sep is indeed an alien. The guy is so fast. I have no idea how that is. How that even happened. Like he's really fast if I'm being honest. And usually the guys are gonna be able to get that sorted with a good setup, and usually with the guys who are a little bit slower. But you know, everyone on this grid is so fast, and I don't know what to do or how to commentate on this because I've never seen so many fast people here. But yeah, I do have to say these guys are going to be able to improve, put on a show. If I'm being honest, I mean, we're currently in the pit lane. There's going to be a 5-minute break, so I will be right back with you guys as we're going to be racing in a couple of minutes. It will be 5 minutes, so yeah, I will see you guys soon, and I'm gonna put a good music on for you guys.
Your lane. Yeah, we get a little homie, you been getting some brain. Rapping about how you smoking weed like a chain, but I gotta be the one to throw the industry shade. Told you I've been fed up, get your bread up, you don't drop shit. Dropping so much fire, 2018 is obnoxious. Put me on the 16, watch the numbers rise, just went from the bubble to the topic. LOL, tell me that I lost it. Low key, love it when they talk shit. High key, working with the OGs, same artist that I was always watching. Crazy, I be living out my dreams. Only 2 years ago I came up on the scene. Sleeping through the day, but I'm working like a fiend. Yeah, she need me when I'm here, and she need me when I leave. Like, they told me that like, when I get cocky, ain't it funny how they think they can stop me? Try to be me, but I'm so sorry you not me. Try to be me, but I'm so sorry you not me. They tell me that like, when I get cocky, ain't it funny how they think they can stop me? Try to be me, but I'm so sorry you not me. You cannot stop me. Ay. No more ballin' on a budget. Never been top 40, man, I'm underground. Right from the sunrise, finna blow up by the time that the sun goes down. Yeah, show you that I run it. Lately I've been on the low, we should make some ruckus. Yeah. Old girls gonna want us, but I turn them all down. Off the market like I'm sold out. Fans for my line, for my shows when it's cold out. Wish I knew then what I know now. Wouldn't have stress, wouldn't care about a view. Screwed up at 21, finna grow at 22. From a dollar in the dream, build that shit. Promise every single fantastic. Put the city on my back, got the type of flow that make the whole city do a backflip. They told me that like, when I get cocky, ain't it funny how they think they can stop me? Try to be me, but I'm so sorry you not me. Try to be me, but I'm so sorry you not me. They told me that like, when I get cocky, ain't it funny how they think they can stop me? Try to be me, but I'm so sorry you not me. You cannot stop me.
Oye, no puedo parar. Enemigos yo quiero matar. I hear all the bragging about money you grab. It look like no puedes pagar. Yeah, I see everybody wanna emulate how I'm living, even women that I penetrate. I'm a degenerate, but look at what I generate. Never be taking a break to this millies when I end a chase. Venezuelan American loose cannon. Back home, women be winning all of the beauty pageants. I can get it again, want it, then you have it. After summer is finished, I need a new passport. New friends, new fashion, loose passes. For Colette clothes, I got a few bags in. Now I live in LA, the view massive. And this year my taxes will hit a new bracket.
They told me that like, when I get cocky, ain't it funny how they think they can stop me? Try to be me, but I'm so sorry you not me. Try to be me, but I'm so sorry you not me. They tell me they like it when I get cocky. Ain't it funny how they think they can stop me? Try to be me, but I'm so sorry you not me. You cannot stop me.
Cup away. And when I'm alone, I do drugs on my own. I told her, shorty, I bought a couple. She wanna drop top laces, never could replace me. I stand on my exes, you know that's the same thing. She just wanna hate me. I guess that's just what pain bring. You know that I'm staying high, but it never made me. I'm in a drop top with a new hoe. Never telling lies, so I always tell the truth. I can never love one, so I always keep two hoes. Got a real big bag full of bills and they blue though. Chopper shooting, put his ass to the end. Told her come over, bring her friends. Like damn girl, where do we begin? Better sell my dick cause the windows 10. Got diamonds on me, it keep me shining. Niggas hate but shit.
Alrighty. Welcome back, everyone, here in the RLE Racing League. Well, it's a Racing League Esports, so Racing League Esports Racing League sounds a little bit interesting. But today we will be racing here in Qatar, the Losail International Circuit, as it is going to be Sabihat Pech in P1. It seems like he didn't get off the line very well there, as he's currently in P5 or in P7, P6 possibly, right behind Larry. As he's got the Red Bull driver right behind him. And Rumblebee now taking the lead. Rumblebee, the Alfa Romeo driver. But of course, this is a formation lap still. So don't worry if you guys are going to be wanting to see some more shows. But Sabihat Pech a little bit lagging. That might not be a great sign to start this race, because I mean, he lagged already during the formation lap, and that means he's possibly going to cause some incidents here in this race. But we will have to wait later for that. The quality of the stream seems to be pretty alright. The quality of the game definitely isn't. So hopefully we're going to have some good quality here from the game. I mean, right now, as you can see, there is a little bit of a sandstorm here in Qatar, as the suggested strategies from the game are hard mediums or medium hard. So I wasn't really wrong with my medium hard predictions, but yeah, hopefully it's not gonna be medium hard. So I mean, the more tire stints, the more safety cars we're gonna have. I mean, it's the opposite way, but it's still a bit the same, right? Right now everyone is driving behind each other, and I'm gonna put, imagine if he did not lag. Yeah, I don't know what happened there with Sabihat Pech, but he's all the way in P1 right now. I'm gonna have a quick look, last time look at my stream to see what the quality is like. Then hopefully we're gonna be able to do a little bit better. So right now, if I talk, is the quality gonna be good? Alright, quality is perfect. We've got 5 red lights here in Qatar, the Losail International Circuit. It's season 1, round 4, as the McLaren driver has a pretty decent start there off the line. They're going 3 wide, as Rumblebee is still in P2. We've got the Ferrari driver down the inside, but Sabihat Pech takes the lead here in Qatar. We already have a little bit of an incident there between the Alfa Romeo driver and the Ferrari driver. They went side by side, had a little bit of an incident there into turn 2, as it is going to be Extreme Force all the way in P7 and Rumblebee now in P6. Baked Potato has a little bit of an incident there with his teammate, it seems like, although Extreme Force now retakes P7, as he is going to be looking at another overtaking opportunity on Rumblebee. Now, Aston Martin driver having a little bit of a look down the inside of Baked Potato, as they're now coming around the second corner in Sector 2. As it seems like everyone is going in slow motion. I don't know what it is. Nobody seems to be pretty close to be able to make a move, and I feel like in Qatar it's always going to be an issue of commentating, as nobody is going to be able to make a move here in Sector 3. Maybe with a good line coming through this third corner in Sector 3, as the Ferrari driver is right on the Alfa Romeo driver's heels. He's sniffing the butt, like I always say. What's happening? What's up? What's up, Manixito? Is anything wrong? Oh, it's Divine. Oh my days, I thought it was Manixito because you guys the same color of name. Now the Ferrari driver down the inside of his teammate, and Rumblebee just lost 2 positions to both Ferrari drivers, as it seems like Extreme Force and Baked Potato are having a heated battle with each other. Is not going to be great for the constructors, as Ferrari is all the way in P5. Not too bad. Both drivers are scoring some good points for the team already. The throat is pretty alright. I just went to the doctor today and he told me to take a certain medicine when I'm feeling sick, so I'm gonna see if that's gonna be working. I cannot take the medicine for more than 3 days, so yeah, if I'm feeling a little bit sick tonight or tomorrow morning, I'm gonna take the medicine and then my voice should be all right. They offered me to go to a, I don't know what the name is in English, but like someone who works with you on how you speak, but I wasn't really feeling that, as I would have to pay 80 euros each session, and it's minimal 10 sessions, so it would be having to pay 800 euros, and that's not something I'm looking forward to do. So I'm just gonna do it with the medication, as both drivers here in P2 and P1 already took a little bit of a distance to F1 Trabi in P3, as he is 1 second behind the McLaren driver. Now let's go back to P5 here, as Boss is looking to make a move down the inside of the Red Bull driver. Huncho Jack fastest lap goes to Extreme Force with a 124.7, as these guys are all going to be racing in a little bit of a train, as it seems like Dominant made the move on Rumblebee. Rumblebee now losing a lot of positions, and I really wonder whether he's got a broken front wing or any other damage due to that incident with the Ferrari early in this race, as Raikkonen is now trying to defend from control grief for both Aston Martin drivers. A little bit back in the back of the grid in P8 and P11 right now. Aston Martin is in P4 in the constructors, so I do have to say they're doing an absolutely amazing job trying to score some good points for the team, but both drivers are not going to be scoring a lot of, 800 euros. It's fucking amazing. I mean, not amazing, it's amazing for the guy who does it, but haha, I appreciate it, Manixito. I mean, it's not really a big problem. I get I lose my voice after a couple of streams, and I stream 6 days a week, so after the 4th of the 5th stream I lose my voice, and then I gotta work all my way up again. So yeah, that makes me not being able to commentate every now and then. As you saw, I didn't have a race on Tuesday, but right now we are racing on Friday, so we're not going to focus on that, as we've got a little bit of a line here. The Red Bull driver is going to have the DRS. We're currently in lap 3. Is he going to be able to make a move down the inside? It does look like it, as Trabi is now all the way in P4. He lost the position to both his teammate and the Red Bull driver, as both drivers are currently on the medium tires. I'm going to have a quick look, because I didn't have a look at the tires, so that Larry in P1 on the soft tires, and that might be the main reason why he was able to keep up with Sabihat Pek, as both drivers are currently having a heated battle in the top 2 right now. Sabihat Pek right on the tail of the McLaren driver, and the soft tires seem to be doing pretty good, as he now had a little bit of a snap there. Sabihat Pek, he lost about 2 to 3 tenths through that corner, through that hairpin, and now he needs to be on the top of his game to keep up with Larry on these soft tires. I mean, these soft tires are going to be giving up after about 6 to 7 laps, I think, here in Qatar. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know this track very well, but Sabi is definitely gonna be having an opportunity every now and then to make that move. Now we've got Extreme Force in P6 right on the tail of Boss. He's gonna have the slipstream, but it's not gonna be enough, because this section of the track, it's very difficult to make a move every now and then, as he is right on the tail. He's sniffing the butt, like I always say, but I do know he's not gonna give up and try to fight for this P5 position. He had a little bit of an incident with Rumblebee, who's currently in P11. He's 28 seconds behind, so he might have had a little incident, as Sabihat Pek retakes that position from Larry. Now the Ferrari driver around the outside both Williams drivers trying to defend this position from the Ferrari driver, as I do have to say, this is some beautiful defense from both the Williams drivers, as it's going to be a little bit of a battle between Aston Martin, Ferrari and Williams during this race, as the Aston Martin drivers are trying to keep up with the group right in front of them, but they're about 2 seconds behind, as now the Ferrari driver tries to make a look down the inside. He's going to back out of the move. And as I said already, this is such a difficult track to make overtakes on. It's never a good idea to make a move down the inside. But I do know that some of these guys don't really care about that. They're just going to throw it down the inside, hope for the best, and hopefully try to get a position and no damage. That's the most important thing. We haven't seen any penalties yet. We're currently in lap 5. But I'm pretty sure these guys are going to get a couple of penalties on the board. But I'm not too sure who's going to be the first. If you guys want to make a bet in the in the chat, make sure to do so. If you lose the bet, I get your money. If you win the bet, you get a big fat thumbs up. There we go. Larry now right on the tail of Sebi Hatpek, although 7/10, and he's giving the Red Bull driver right behind him, the DRS. So he's going to be able to get a little bit closer to that top 2 group. And he's trying to bring Traby and Boss with him, as Boss now makes the move down the inside of Traby. These two are going to be working together. The Ferrari driver tries to benefit out of that, but that's not going to be the case here. Now in lap 6 here in Qatar, we're currently racing season 1 round 4 of the Qatar Grand Prix here in Racing League Esports, and these guys have been struggling a little bit to get drivers on the grid. But today they have got 11 drivers, which is not too much if you think about it. But they're definitely trying to get more people in. Well, actually, I am trying to get more people in, as Extreme Force now has the outside line through this corner. But he's not going to be able to get this position from the Williams driver. Tries to make a switchback work. There is no contact, but he gets back right behind the Williams driver. And, I mean, he has been looking very strong here, the Ferrari driver. But unfortunately, he doesn't have the pace yet to make that overtake on the Williams driver. He's trying to create a gap now on his teammate, talking about Traby here, because there's already a 7/10 gap between him and Boss, and it wouldn't be a great strategy if you think about it, because then he's not going to have the DRS down the main straight. Someone is going off track there. That's going to be baked potato on these medium tires. But Divine, you didn't follow the channel yet? Wow. I thought you followed the channel already. Oh, the Ferrari driver now down the inside, as he's gonna try. It just doesn't have the straight line speed, it seems like. Oh, that's amazing, Divine. Appreciate it. That's really great. The Williams driver now down the inside. He's gonna get a spicy battle with the Ferrari driver. He's pushing the Ferrari driver a little bit wide, as that could have been a very dangerous incident between the two. But luckily, the Ferrari driver is a little bit smarter, and he's just gonna back out. He had flashbacks from that incident with the Alfa Romeo driver back in lap 1, where both drivers collided with each other, got crashed out, and then all the way got dropped back all the way to P9. He's back in P6 right now, so he definitely doesn't want to lose a position anymore due to any incidents. And I'm gonna take a quick sip of my water. Henshaw Jack is getting chased from behind. Boss, the Raging Bull right now, trying to close down that gap. He's gonna have the DRS. Henshaw Jack is not gonna have the DRS, as he is 1.3 seconds behind. But Boss looking to make a move, and Dominic. No, wait. So many penalties. And all in that corner where I said there was gonna be a lot of penalties. But Boss, straight line speed. He's gonna have the DRS. Henshaw Jack is nothing compared to the Williams power right now down the main straight, and it is gonna be Boss taking P3 here from Henshaw Jack. We've got the Red Bull driver trying to make up for that position loss, as Extreme Force already took that position from Traby, so we got 1 position gain from the Williams driver and 1 position lost also for another Williams driver. So both Williams drivers are trying to work it out in their own way, while Traby trying to defend the position and Boss trying to overtake a position. And both drivers did succeed to do so, although Traby did lose a position, but he's looking to make that move back again on Extreme Force at the moment, all the way in P5, as Extreme Force on these hard tires. It seems like these hard tires are going very long, as they're a little bit faster than the medium tires at this moment, as Huncho Jack is not going to be able to defend this position from Extreme Force, I'm afraid. Down the main straight, they're now entering Sector 3 in a couple of seconds, and hopefully he's going to have the straight line speed coming out of that last corner, and I'm not able to read what corner that is. Nice. Fuck me, how small are these things? 16. It's the last corner of the track is number 16. So Extreme Force, he really needs to have an extreme good exit coming out of turn 16. Now down the main straight, he's gonna have the slipstream. It is gonna be enough. Extreme Force down the inside. He's having a little bit of a sniff, and he's gonna throw it down the inside. The hard tires are better than the medium tires at the moment, and he takes P4 from the Red Bull driver. Huncho Jack takes a wider line than the Ferrari did, and now is trying to get back into P4, but it's going to be a hard challenge. Extreme Force, he is determined to get back into the top 3 after that position loss due to Rumblebee and himself having a collision. But overtaking Boss is going to be another task, if you ask me. I mean, we saw Boss being really fast last week. I think he got, let me have a quick look what position he got. He got a P1 last week. So he's really looking to get another podium position today. And as things are looking like right now, he's 1.8 seconds behind Larry. And I can almost say with certainty that Sabi Hatpech is on some steroids at the moment. Currently 1 second ahead of Larry, and he's definitely looking like he's going to get this P1 on the board here in Qatar. I do have to say there's still 20 more laps on the board, so we're almost past 1/3 of the race, as the guys are now coming around the last corner to start lap 10 here in Qatar. Huncho Jack all the way in P5, right on the tail of the Ferrari driver, but it's not going to be enough. Neither of these guys are going to be able to make a move, as it is a little bit of train work here. Larry managed to get back to Sabi Hatpech on these soft tires, so that does indicate that these soft tires are not done yet. I'm not really able to see what percentage they are on, but as he's been driving right now, let me have a quick think, the 29-year-old, if he's 29, yeah, he's 29 probably. The 29-year-old McLaren driver currently trying to get back to Sabi Hatpech. It does appear like Sabi really has, I'm always saying Sabi, I don't know why, but Sabi really has the pace here around Qatar. He got the fastest lap in the qualifying, even with lag spikes through his lap. And right now, Larry, he already lost 1.3 seconds on the McLaren, the AlphaTauri driver again, as there is a collision. The Aston Martin driver in the off track. I'm going to say off track because I was going to say in the wall, but he wasn't in the wall, of course. Extreme Force. And this guy, he's just so greedy at the moment. I mean, he's just so fast. He's looking to make a move everywhere he can. And the Ferrari driver now coming around the last corner. He's going to have the DRS. Boss doesn't have the DRS. Slipstream. DRS wide open. ERS wide open for the Ferrari driver. He's going to take a look down the inside. And the Red Bull driver is not able to make this move work. But the Williams driver does have enough speed. Red Bull driver down the inside. Is the Williams driver going to leave enough space? It does appear like it, but we saw this happen already with the Red Bull not having a lot of traction coming out of that corner, and it is going to be Extreme Force taking P3, Boss in P4, and Huncho Jack in P5. Traby is just trying to stick with these guys, as it is a hard challenge to keep up with the pace of Extreme Force. And Boss, I mean, he is used to so much more at the moment in P4. Got the race win last week in Austria. And Huncho Jack, not too sure where he was last week. Definitely not on the podium, as we had Flammy and Manexito in P2 and P3. There's already a couple of penalties on the board right now. 6 seconds for Control Griefer, 3 seconds for Dominic, his teammate. And now we've got Baked Potato and Huncho Jack both on 3-second time penalties. So this is not great for Mr. Huncho Jack right now in a close battle with 3 other drivers, Extreme Force, Boss, and Traby. And he's definitely not going to be able to get on the podium at the moment with those 3 seconds. Larry comes into the pits, as Extreme Force was really getting a little bit closer to the McLaren driver due to the soft tires not being able to drive any further, as Larry is possibly going on the hard tires. Still 17 more laps on those hard tires. I do have to say that is possible though, but it is going to be a big challenge for the McLaren driver. He's going to have traction, track advantage when he comes out of the pits. Of course, he's not going to have track advantage straight away, but when all of these guys are coming into the pits, they're driving on slower tires right now. Larry will have a little bit faster tires than these guys are driving on right now, and that means he's going to have track advantage. So when these guys are all coming into the pits, coming out again, they're going to be all behind Larry, and I really wonder whether Larry is going to be able to defend that position, because all of these guys will be on faster tires. They will possibly be on mediums or hards, as I do know a couple of guys are currently on the medium tires, including Boss, Hunchojek, and Traby. And Extreme Force is actually the only one in the top 5 on hard tires. His teammate, Big Potato, is also on medium tires. He's got a 3-second time penalty, as they're still driving in the train right now. Big Potato doesn't have the pace to keep up with these 4 drivers at the moment, as Big Potato on these medium tires. He is from the United States, so this is going to be the only United States driver, as he gets another penalty. Someone comes into the pits. That's going to be Hunchojek, possibly going for hard tires. 16 more laps on the hard tires, as possibly that's going to be just enough. It's going to be just enough. He tries to make that undercut work to be able to overtake these guys with a good out lap and a good in lap. Well, these guys need to blast all of their ERS in order to be able to get in front of who is it again? Hunchojek. As he is going on the hard tires, he drops back all the way to P9, and the McLaren driver is going to be able to overtake him. So as you can see, Larry already created a gap of about 2 seconds on Hunchojek. I'm going to have a quick look. 4 seconds actually. So taking consideration, he was 2 seconds behind Larry when Larry came into the pits, and right now he's 4 seconds behind. So that does indicate on how good the... Wait, Larry is going for mediums? Does a soft medium work here in Qatar? Oh, that's a bold strategy from Mr. Larry. That is indeed a bold strategy. Extreme Force created a 1.2 second gap to Boss, so Boss won't have the DRS down the main straight, and Boss is possibly going to be able to give a DRS to his teammate, and Traby stays out. Yeah, that's a really bold strategy, if I'm being honest right now. Larry, he managed to be on those soft tires for about 11 laps or 12 laps, and I do have to say, if you have to be on medium tires for 17 laps, if you take the softs on 11 laps into consideration, he might be able to do it. But of course, how many time are you going to be losing due to that? You know, the soft tires, the medium tires, they're so fast, as he's now making a move down the inside. The Aston Martin driver tries to get a little bit of slipstream, but it's not going to be enough. Larry takes this position from Dominic, and he is making his redemption race. I mean, he lost so many positions in the pit lane there. He did get those positions on Hunchojek and Boss back, and Rumble is all the way in P11. Didn't make a pit stop work yet, although he did make one work, but I don't think he's going to be on these hard tires till the end of the race. He's 4.4 seconds behind Boss, who is on fresh hard, so he's even going to lose more time on these hard tires. So he's got to come into the pits as soon as possible to go for medium tires and hope for a late safety car. 2 seconds between Extreme Force and Sabi Hatpak. I think Extreme Force, if he didn't have that collision with Rumblebee, he might have even been able to get back to Sabi Hatpak and maybe take the lead. But right now he's 2 seconds behind. He's possibly going for medium tires, as I've got to sneeze 1 second. All right. Here we are back. Extreme Force comes into the pits. The Williams driver also coming into the pits, and so is Sabi Hatpak. Sabi is going on the hard tires. Extreme Force is going on the mediums, and still 14 more laps to go on these medium tires, as Larry now takes the lead. Is he going to be able to keep the lead? Because he is so far ahead of Sabi Hatpak and Extreme Force right now. I think about 3.5 seconds at the moment, 3.3. Sabi Hatpak does really have to do some racing here before he can get back to Larry. I do have to say, these medium tires will degrade very rapidly at the end of the race. He won't have any more medium tires. He will just be driving on like old hard tires at that point, and that's not really what you want to do. But Sabi had packed 14 lap-old hards at the end of the race compared to 17 lap-old mediums at the end of the race. So we might be able to see a late race battle between Larry and Sabi Adpech, and maybe Extreme Force is going to be able to get involved there, because he's right now on the tail of Sabi Adpech again with Huncho Jack all the way in P7. So Huncho Jack, he managed to make that undercut work as he is in front of both Williams drivers, as Extreme Force did take the lead out of that group of 4. Now trying to get back to Sabi Adpech. Control Griefer and Baked Potato both coming into the pits, possibly going to lose a lot of positions here on these 4 or 5 drivers, as Traby is all the way at the back, 3.7 seconds behind, but he does have fresh hard tires, soft tires for Baked Potato. He thinks there is going to be a late safety car, but I don't think there is going to be. 13 more laps to go here in Qatar in the Racing League Esports. Yeah, Manixito in the chat, that's indeed true. I mean, the others are going for mediums for about 14 laps on a lot of fuel, and Larry, his car, well, for everyone who doesn't know, Formula 1 cars, they've got fuel, right? So does every other car if it's not electrical, but they all have fuel. And the more fuel you've got in your car, so usually at the beginning of the Grand Prix, the heavier your car is, so your tires are going to be degrading more, because obviously the imagine, you know, you're rubbing wood onto paper. I don't know, you're rubbing wood somewhere, and the harder you press, the harder you're pressing, the more wood is gonna be going away. Well, that's such a shitty explanation, but you get what I mean, right? If I put more pressure on the wood is gonna go away easier. So you have to see the tires as wood and the ground as whatever you're rubbing on. And the more pressure you put on the tires, and the heavier it gets, the more it's gonna degrade. So hopefully these medium tires of Larry are gonna make it until the end of the race. I do have to say, I do think he's gonna be able to get there, but he's got a Raging Bull right behind him, the Ferrari driver, 3 seconds behind Larry at the moment. 2.8 actually, so he made up about 6/10 in 1.5 laps. As it is going to be a big challenge for Larry to get into the top 3, because he's got Sabi Adpech behind him, he's got Boz behind him, he's got Huncho Jack behind him, although Boz is not able to keep up with Sabi Adpech and Extreme Force right now. 2.3 seconds behind, as it is possibly going to be a battle for the top 3 position, and maybe even the lead of the race later during this race, as there is still 12 more laps to go here in the Qatar Grand Prix, and hopefully there's going to be some heavy battling at the end of the race. Larry does have that penalty though. That penalty from Larry is going to be very annoying, if I'm being honest. 3 seconds, if these other guys are not going to get any penalties, and we know Sabi Adpech was the only driver in Austria who didn't have a penalty, if I'm not mistaken. I do remember him having 0 penalties, but I could be mistaken though. I mean, he's just so consistent here in Qatar. He's just so consistent. I think the Alfa Romeo driver is coming into the pits again, possibly going for medium tires. And I'm going to take a quick sip again. So Jack managed to get a little bit closer to Boss, 5/10 behind, but as I said already, Extreme Force, he really has the pace right now, as Larry just lost about 1 second this last lap, 1.2 I do have to say, and it is going to be, I think it's just going to be too big of a challenge to keep these two behind him. You know, Extreme Force, he's been looking so great at the moment. He just... Oh! Oh! Wait, but there was someone who didn't have any penalties last race. I don't remember who that was. Was it Flemmy then? I don't know, actually. It might have been Boss, though. But Boss also not having any penalties, as it is going to be Extreme Force looking to make a move on Larry. But it's not going to be that time yet. He's got to wait another half a lap, possibly, as the next overtaking opportunity will be that long right-hander. It's actually 2 corners. But we're here in this section of the track. We know it's a little bit risky to throw it down the inside, but he is 2 tenths behind the McLaren driver right now, right on the tail. He's sniffing the butt. He's looking to make a move down the inside, but unfortunately it is not going to be an opportunity for the Ferrari driver. He's got to wait till he enters sector 3. The guy who won didn't have any penalties. That's going to be Boss, and it doesn't look like he had any penalties either today. I mean, there's still 10 more laps to go here in Qatar, as it is going to be Extreme Force. So close. It's so close battling between these two, as he's now going to try to throw it down the inside. He's going to wait. He's going to wait. He's going to have the DRS later. And then possibly Larry is going to be losing 2 positions. 1 to Sabi Hadpech and 1 to Extreme Force. Control Griever with a 3-second time penalty. And now, the moment of doom for Larry. Is he going to be losing a position? Is he going to be losing 2? It looks like it. Extreme Force with a good exit, but so did Larry. Sabi Hadpech is losing about 1/10 down the main straight. Extreme Force down the inside. Is it going to be a 3-way battle? It does look like it. Sabi takes the lead. Sabi takes the lead here into turn 1. And that is going to be your new Grand Prix leader of the Qatar Grand Prix right now in P1. Sabi Hadpech, Extreme Force in P2, and we've got Larry in P3. He's losing not too many tenths on these guys in my opinion, but right now I think it's going to be hard battling with these guys. They're going to be so close. They're going to be throwing it down the inside wherever they can, but right now Sabi Hadpech to take the lead. Larry is still right on the tail of Extreme Force, so we might be able to see another position switch between Larry and Extreme Force and Sabi Hadpech at the end of the race, but it all will depend on whoever has a better exit coming out of the last corner. 410 Sabi Hadpech is really putting the pressure on the throttle right now as he's coming around these last couple of corners in sector 3, and hopefully he's going to be able to get this position in P1. He's trying to keep it. But it's such a hard challenge. It's a very long DRS straight. And now coming around the last corner is Sabi Hadpech, Extreme Force and Larry, and they're all gonna have DRS except for Sabi. Extreme Force around the outside, and they're going to be switching positions. Extreme Force does have those medium tires. Sabi Hadpech has those hard tires selected. So it should be Sabi Hadpech who's going to take them to the long run. And so is Extreme Force, but they're going to be a little bit more worn out right now. Larry on those 7 or 8 lap old mediums right now, already 9 lap old mediums, as that is going to be a hard challenge for Larry to keep up with these guys. He's doing a good job at the moment, but let's go back to P4 and 5, as both Williams drivers are currently having a battle with Huncho Jack, the Red Bull driver, and they also have a battle for the constructors. Red Bull is all the way in P6, and we've got the Williams team in P3, and as things are looking like right now, Williams is going to be getting some good points for the constructors. We've got none of the Mercedes drivers here today, so they're not going to be getting any points. McLaren is going to be scoring a good couple of points, maybe 15 with Larry in P3. And then we've got Williams. They're going to score 12 and 8 with Trabi and Boss in P4 and P6. But we don't know if Boss is going to lose that position to Huncho Jack, or maybe Trabi losing a position to Control Griever due to penalties or that kind of stuff. So we will be seeing that later this race, as there's still 7 laps to go here in Qatar, as we're going to go back to the front. Sabi Hadpech and Extreme Force both got a penalty already, so it's not going to be depending on the penalties anymore. It's all going to be depending on the track position where they're coming across the finish line. Still 7 more laps to go here in Qatar, and hopefully Extreme Force is taking the lead by a couple of tenths. He's 7 tenths ahead already of Sabi Hatpek right now, as it is going to be Larry in P3 trying to keep it together, trying to keep it focused here in Qatar, as it is a 50% race, and usually after 40 or 45%, these guys are losing concentration, making more mistakes, and it all happens these last couple of laps. We're almost past 40% of the race, and I do have to say, these guys are going to bring everything out of their sleeves to hopefully get another position on the board. And Huncho Jack takes P4 here from Boz and Trabi. They're the only 3 drivers, no, actually both Williams drivers are the only 2 drivers, including with Raikkonen and Rumblebee, who didn't get a penalty yet. I do think Rumblebee got a 5-second time penalty when he came to the pits the first time. I'm not 100% sure yet. But we've got Boz right now in P5, Trabi in P6, as both drivers are on hard tires, but so is Huncho Jack. They just have to keep it behind the Red Bull driver to get a good couple of points on the board. They're going to get that position anyway if they're not going to get any penalties. Raikkonen with a 3-second time penalty. That's 1 driver less without penalties, as Boz is now going to throw it down the inside into turn 1. Rumblebee with a 3-second time penalty, and both Williams drivers are the most consistent ones without getting penalties, so they're doing very great trying to manage their track limits here in Qatar, as it is a very common issue when driving on this track, as everyone is having penalties at the moment except for the Williams drivers. Let's go back to the top 3, as Extreme Force is currently in P1, Sabi Hatpek in P2, and Larry in P3. Larry, I do have to say, I'm quite surprised on these old mediums that he's able to keep it together and stick it on the tail of Sabi Hatpek. They do have to watch out if they're going to be battling a little bit heavier. They're going to be losing a position to LRL Boss and Trabi, as both drivers don't have a penalty yet. 5 seconds behind Larry at the moment, and they really have to watch out. Extreme Force now takes the lead by about 8 tenths, and Sabi Hatpek is not able to deliver any resistance at the moment yet, as he's currently in P2. He's got his hands full with Larry, although Larry not able to get any closer than 5 tenths on the AlphaTauri's ass. Now both Williams drivers trying to defend this position from Huncho Jack. Is Trabi going to be able to make a move down the inside? I do think he's just benefiting out of this. He's just benefiting from the battles that are happening in front of him, because the less you're battling, the less your tires are going to be degraded. And then that last race, well, that last lap, he's just going to benefit out of it. Almost had an issue, an incident there with his teammate Boss, the Polish/German driver, as he's now taking P5. Trabi has to be happy with P6, and I really wonder if there's like a thing between the Williams team where they're going to be giving each other a free position or something like that. I don't know who's the furthest. It is Boss in P3 in the Drivers' Championship, so I would have to say that Boss has been a little bit more consistent with including his race win last race in Austria, and then it would be logical to give Boss 1 extra position because he's fighting for that Drivers' Championship, and maybe Trabi is trying to, you know, give that to Boss, the Drivers' Championship. It's a very, very important title, especially in a season 1. You know, you can always say to everyone who's joining later, yeah guys, I'm the Division 1 Tier 1 Season 1 race winner, Driver Championship, and then everyone is going to look up to you. So Baked Potato with another 3-second time penalty. Yeah, indeed, Larry, that's all you can hope for. Indeed, Boss now taking the lead out of this 3, and Trabi benefits out of it. So Trabi, what he's going to do right now is just hold back Huncho Jack. I'm pretty sure he's going to. He's got 1 lap old fresher hearts right now, but all he has to do is keep Huncho Jack behind and try to defend his position from Boss, because right now, well, for Boss, because right now Boss is getting 12 points on the Drivers' Championship, and it would be better than getting 10 points, because you get 2 more points, obviously. But if Boss is going to get a penalty right now, and Trabi isn't, he's still battling for that P6 position. So Trabi, all I think he's doing right now is trying to defend his position from Huncho Jack and just let Boss do what he's good at, not getting any penalties. These two Williams drivers not having any penalties yet. I wish I could look how many track validations they had already. I mean, track warnings, whatever you call it. But these two, well, these three at the front, including Larry in P3. And the guy in the chat said, Manixito, the best thing Larry can do is pray for the guys in front to get more penalties. And that is pretty much true. I do have to say he's sticking on the tail of Sabi at PEG. I do have to say he's 7/10 behind. Sabi at PEG now a little bit faster than Extreme Force, and I think that's mainly due to their tires, the tire difference. We've got Extreme Force and 11 lap old mediums. There's still 3 more laps to go here in Qatar, and Sabi at PEG is going to have the benefit at the end of the race on these hard tires. Let's have a quick look at the penalties. There's already someone with 14 seconds of penalties. That's going to be Control Griever. And Rumblebee now having a battle with Dominic, it seems like. No, Dominic coming into the pits. He's going to have a change of tires. He's going for the medium tires. Pretty interesting. He possibly didn't have any soft tires left. Larry right now in P3. He's not going to be able to get into the top 2. I'm afraid he's not going to. He just doesn't have enough suave, you know. He doesn't have the enough speed. He should have put a pepper in his ass and just drive, but right now it looks like he's got something else in his ass. As he gets another 3-second time penalty. That's definitely not something he wanted. And maybe he's listening to the stream and was laughing about my pepper in his ass, but yeah. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a top 2 for Larry. Now, Sabi at PEG down the inside into turn 1. He's going to take the lead of this race. Still 3 more laps to go. Well, 2 more after this one, of course, as we're currently in lap 27 out of 29. And it's been so close battling between these two. And they have been so close with each other, Sabi at PEG and Extreme Force. And I do have to say, I'm going to make a bold prediction, well, a bold statement. If Extreme Force didn't have that incident with Rumblebee, I think he would have taken the lead by a couple of seconds. Because right now, imagine this. Sabi at PEG had clean air for the whole race. Well, almost clean air. And Extreme Force, he came all the way from P8 or P7, I can't quite remember. But after that incident with Rumblebee, he lost so many seconds on the AlphaTauri driver. And now he's back on the tail of the AlphaTauri driver. So Extreme Force, he's my driver of the day. He's possibly going to win this race. Or is it going to be Sabi at PEG? We're going to be seeing that after lap 29. And around the last corner, I'm going to take a quick sip of water. So I will be right back with you. Oh, wait. Larry around the outside. What is Sabi doing? He's giving that position to Extreme Force, and now he's possibly losing another position to Larry. Larry around the outside. Is it going to be a 3-way battle into turn 1? The Ferrari defends the inside line. Larry takes the lead. Larry takes the lead here in Qatar, as it is going to be Sabi at PEG all the way in P3. Extreme Force defending this position from the AlphaTauri driver, but there's nothing Larry can do with his 6-second penalty. It is going to be Sabi at PEG in P3, and this is not something I could have seen coming, because right now Sabi at PEG, not too sure what he did in that last corner, but he just let everyone go through to have the DRS on the Ferrari driver, and I didn't think he was gonna give that position to Larry either, and I don't think it was his intention to do so, but he did do it anyway, as it is going to be Extreme Force in P2 as Sabi at PEG in P3. Boss now on the tail of Trabi, as these both Williams drivers are going to be battling for P4, and that's not really what you want to see between teammates, of course, as they're not really battling that much at the moment. Trabi now gives back that position to Boss. They're going side by side through this corner. Don't battle too much. Boss takes the lead out of these 3 as we're going back to the top 3, taking a quick sip of water. Extreme Force now trying to make a move down the inside on Larry. Larry is not gonna have the DRS. And Sabi at PEG 1.3 seconds behind. What's happening with Sebi? Sorry, Sebi. I'm always saying Sabi. It's because Sebi had PEG. And Sabi Hatpech signs a little bit better. My apologies, Sebi. But he's losing the toe. He's not going to get the race win here in Qatar. He's giving this race win to Extreme Force, a little bit of a present to his friend in the Ferrari car, as he probably got some orders from Matteo Binotto, although Matteo Binotto is not in Ferrari anymore. Oh no, they're not. Oh yeah, right. They're not. Fuck me. AlphaTauri is the... Wait. Did Extreme Force crash? What is happening with Extreme Force? He's out of fuel! The Ferrari driver is out of fuel! Oh, what a chaotic race. The Ferrari driver is out of fuel. He was pushing too much, as he's gonna lose a position to Boss. He's gonna lose a position to Trabi. And Boss might be looking at a race win here if he can keep up with Sabi Hatpech. Sabi Hatpech also doesn't have any fuel anymore. And is it gonna be Larry with the race win? Larry coming around the last corner. Is he gonna take the race win here? It's not gonna be enough. Boss takes another race win here in Qatar because he doesn't have any penalties. The Polish driver taking the lead here in the Qatar Grand Prix. His teammate in P2 and Larry in P3. What the fuck happened here, guys? Sabi Hatpech is gonna drop back all the way to P5. Extreme Force all the way to P7, P6 due to the penalties of Control Griefer. Raikkonen in P7. Where is Baked Potato gonna come out? He's got 29 seconds of penalties and he doesn't have any fuel left. Neither does Rumblebee. Sebi, what the fuck was that, bro? I hate this fucking game. Oh my days. Sabi Hatpech loses the race win here. He gives it back to the Williams drivers. He lost the race win last week due to penalties. He lost the race win this week due to no fuel in his car. And as I said earlier, you need to have enough fuel here in your car to finish the race, and everyone will be on low fuel mode or high fuel mode. I don't know what the name is, but low fuel mode for a couple of guys. We've seen about 4 or 5 racers without any fuel, and it is going to be Sabi Hatpech all the way in P5. We've got a Williams podium in P1 and P2 for both Boss and Trebi, as Larry takes P3. We didn't think we were going to be seeing both Williams drivers on the podium, but it is happening. We've got Boss taking the lead, Trabi in P2 and Larry in P3. Further, we've got Huncho Jack, Sabi Hatpech, Extreme Force, Raikkonen, Control Griefer, Rumblebee, Dominic, and Baked Potato all the way at the back of the grid. Oh, thank you, Manexito. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Sometimes I feel like the compliments at the end of a race are a little bit more important than the commentary itself. I feel like, for me, it feels better to commentate with someone telling me it was a good stream than to not have anyone in the chat, if that makes sense. I'm gonna fix something right now and then we will be right back with you. Hello, Shuki. I just finished. Yeah, I just finished. Alright guys, so I'm gonna finish off the stream right here. I hope everyone liked it. I had about 6 or 7 viewers during the end of the race. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I don't know what happened here, guys. This was such a chaotic race, and we had such a close battle for P1 and P2 and P3. Larry got a penalty, well, got another penalty. We had both the Williams drivers trying to get a little bit closer to the top 3. They managed to do so, and then Sabi Hatpech and Extreme Force both had low fuel mode, and it was gonna be both Williams drivers taking the lead of this Qatar race in the last lap, in lap 29. And yeah, that's gonna be your Qatar Grand Prix here in Racing League Esports. So I thank everyone for watching. Shuki, I've got a crush on you too. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. This was Phoebe Thomas as your commentator. Make sure to check out the links here in the bottom of your screen, or maybe at the top if you want to check out the Racing League Esports links. My links are here at the bottom. And I hope you guys are gonna. Well, I hope I am gonna be seeing you again next week here in Racing League Esports, as I do stream every week for this league. Thank you very much. This was VB Thomas as your commentator. Peace out.